Have you ever wondered what the last sound of someone's life might be? Not a scream, not a goodbye, but silence. When a call never comes. My name is Lauren Mitchell, 24 years old, careful to a fault, and always the one reminding my friends to text when they made it home. That night, it was supposed to be me. I told Rachel I'd call. I told her not to worry. I remember the weight of my phone in my pocket as I stepped outside her apartment. The air was damp, the kind of quiet that presses on your skin. A streetlight flickered, buzzing, as though it couldn't decide if it wanted to stay alive. My car was parked at the far end of the lot. I clicked the unlock button. Nothing. I tried again. Still nothing. The tiny sound of failure, 2 dull clicks, echoed louder than it should have. Someone coughed behind me. Low. Quick. I froze. Every instinct told me to keep walking, but my body slowed. My hand tightened around the phone, ready to call Rachel, but I never did. And that's where everything shifted. Because sometimes the most terrifying moment isn't what you hear. It's what you don't. What if the last place you stood could betray you? Not because of what you left behind, but because of what someone else planted there. Rachel told police later that I never sounded worried. She swore my laugh was steady when I said goodbye. But by the time she checked her phone the next morning, my car was already a crime scene. The driver's seat was pushed all the way back, as though someone taller had been there. My purse was on the passenger side, unzipped, the contents scattered. Lip balm, receipts, a notebook with the corner torn. But not my phone, the one I promised I'd call with. Detective Mark Reynolds walked the perimeter, his shoes crunching against the gravel. He didn't see a struggle. No shattered glass. No blood. Just a door left unlocked and an engine that refused to turn over. And then he noticed something else. The rearview mirror had been twisted. Not broken, not loose. Just angled toward the back seat. That detail stopped him. Because if I had adjusted it, it would have faced the road, not my reflection. And that was the first hint. I wasn't alone when the night went silent. What if the person searching for you was the one hiding you? That question became impossible to ignore once the family stepped in. Lauren's mother, Diane, stood before cameras trembling, clutching the scarf her daughter wore in childhood. Her voice cracked as she begged, "Please, if you see her, tell her we're waiting at home." Every word felt rehearsed, but her eyes betrayed something raw. Terror that her daughter wasn't just missing, but already gone. The media devoured it. Volunteers canvassed sidewalks. Flyers taped to lampposts showed Lauren's smile. Yet strangers whispered that the photo looked staged, too perfect, like a face plucked from a yearbook. But the case shifted when a new figure entered. Officer Jason Miller, the rookie who first found the car, admitted he couldn't shake one image. A footprint near the rear tire. Too small to be Lauren's. Too angled to be a passerby. When tested, it matched a size worn mostly by children. A child's shoe print at the scene of an adult disappearance. It was the first twist no one could explain. What if the evidence you trusted most was planted to deceive you? That was the fear when forensic teams combed through Lauren's abandoned car. Dr. Olivia Brooks, the state pathologist, leaned into the upholstery with a magnifier. Under the driver's seat, wedged between the rails, she found strands of hair, dark, coarse, and cut bluntly at the ends. Not Lauren's. Not her family's. Testing confirmed the strands belonged to a woman already listed as missing. Marissa Lane, a waitress from the neighboring county, gone for 6 months without a trace. The discovery froze the investigation. How could 2 disappearances, months apart, converge in one vehicle? Detective Reynolds, holding the lab report in silence, finally muttered, "We're not looking for a kidnapper. We're looking for a collector." That single word shifted the atmosphere from hope to horror. Because Lauren's case was no longer just her own. It was part of something larger, stitched together by someone who knew how to keep their victims unseen. What if guilt could turn into evidence? That's what prosecutors whispered when Lauren's best friend broke down in an interview no one expected. Rachel Monroe sat across from a victim advocate, her hands trembling around a coffee cup she never sipped. She confessed something she had hidden. The night Lauren vanished, her phone lit up one more time. Not a call. Not a message. Just a single photo, blurred, grainy, showing what looked like a hand pressed against glass. Rachel deleted it before police could see, terrified it meant Lauren was already gone. But the phone company retrieved the file. Analysts confirmed the glass wasn't from Rachel's apartment. It was from inside a moving vehicle. And the hand wasn't Lauren's. It was smaller, narrower, with a silver ring no one in her circle recognized. That revelation cracked open a terrifying new angle. Because if Lauren wasn't the one sending that picture, then someone else had her phone. What happens when a secret no one was meant to see is forced into the light? That's what unfolded the morning the photo Rachel tried to bury leaked online. By sunrise, the image was everywhere, on local news sites, in Facebook groups, passed hand-to-hand across the community. The grainy picture of a hand against glass had turned into a storm of speculation. People zoomed in, circled the silver ring, argued about its meaning. Some swore it matched a band sold at a truck stop off Highway 29. Others claimed they'd seen it on the finger of a bartender who disappeared last winter. The hysteria spread faster than the investigators could contain. At a press briefing, Sheriff Daniels faced flashing cameras and blunt questions. Was this proof Lauren wasn't alone? Was this the work of one predator tying missing women together? Behind the podium, his jaw tightened. He didn't answer directly, but the silence spoke louder than words. Because inside the station, analysts were already comparing the photo to case files across 3 counties. And late that night, one of them whispered what no one wanted to admit. The ring had shown up before, not on a victim, on a suspect who was questioned years earlier, then quietly released. And now his name was back on the table. What if the answer everyone feared was already hiding in plain sight? That question echoed when the ring from the photo was traced to a man long dismissed from suspicion. Michael Harrow, a truck mechanic who once lived 2 towns over. When investigators pulled his old file, they found a detail buried in handwritten notes. During his 2011 interview, officers described him wearing a narrow silver band on his right hand. Back then, they had no reason to hold him. No evidence, no bodies, just rumors he was seen with women who later vanished. Now the photo revived what time tried to bury. Search warrants led to his workshop, a dim garage stacked with scrap metal and dust-coated toolboxes. Inside a locked drawer, officers found phones that didn't belong to him. 5 of them, all registered to missing women. Among them, Lauren's. The screen was cracked, the glass chipped, but the wallpaper was still her smile. Investigators froze, because alongside it sat another phone, one belonging to Marissa Lane, the waitress whose hair had been found in Lauren's car. In that single discovery, the puzzle snapped together. It wasn't chance. It wasn't coincidence. It was collection. Michael Harrow was arrested that night. The photo Rachel tried to hide became the final piece of evidence prosecutors needed to connect his shadow across multiple disappearances. Lauren's voice would never be heard again, but the trail she left, through friends, through fragments, through fear, spoke louder than silence ever could. And in the end, the story wasn't just about one missing woman. It was about how secrets, once unearthed, can topple monsters who believed they'd never be seen. Subscribe to the Veil of Secret, where the untold is never forgotten.